What? Oh, you're awake. I thought you'd be more of a nocturnal beast, all things considered. Relax. Besides, how did that of all things offend you? What? No, I was. I was talking about you being a wolf. What? No, not about being an idiot. Those things aren't even connected. Alright, wow, you are in a mood today. Alright, jeez. God. Besides, wolves aren't even nocturnal. Please. You definitely seem like the type who sleeps in all morning and then is up till 8 a.m. without sleep. You're not exactly out of the woods yet. It's still the afternoon. What were you even doing out so late last night? Hunting? And how well did that go for you? Right. Hmm. What have I been up to? A lot, actually. Well, first, I've been compiling all the info you keep gathering for me, which, while isn't a lot, it's still something. I've been using it to brainstorm where our mystery man could be, and also what their plan is. We were close, and I think I've at least got an idea. The main problem is actually finding the guy. Hmm? Right. I've also been meeting up with that Lachland kid. They seem pretty happy to finally run into some other magical people. And they haven't stopped hounding me about helping them figure out their abilities. Other than that, I've also been dealing with any disturbances and potential breakthroughs. No, there haven't been that many. There typically isn't. The Covens take care of any of the big events, though they did need me to deal with one. Yeah, the one I told you about a while ago. Nope, it wasn't that big. I wish the Covens would understand that, but I guess they just like to be weird. Well, I'm supposed to just keep an eye on the little ones. I've also been keeping up my nighttime shift at the station. Yes, I do have a job to maintain, and while I have magic to help me keep that job, it's also good to keep up appearances so someone doesn't get suspicious and then accidentally discovers the supernatural when they weren't supposed to. Yeah. Sure, I can share. Which part are you interested in first? Of course. That's what your obsession is all about, right? Call it whatever you want. It's still an obsession. Ah ha ha ha. I'll get the spray bottle. You think I won't, but I absolutely will. Don't. Put my couch down right now. 'Cause if you don't put it down, I'm gonna bring them back out. I absolutely would bring them back. Throw it. See what happens. Alright then. What would you prefer? Citrus? Cinnamon? How about pine? Wintergreen? Oh, that's got you all choked up now, huh? You don't want the house smelling like that? Then you know what you gotta do to make that happen, then, right? Well, then, do it. Jeez. No, no, nothing at all. Just that if I had a heartbeat, you'd probably give me heart problems with how much you put me through. Shush. Just just give me a second. Ugh. Whew. What were we doing before that? Interruption? Right, plans. How could I forget? Need I remind you that you're the reason I forgot in the first place? Well, at least you know I'm the brains here. You walked right into that one on your own. Uh. Anyways. Plan, remember? So, to get on track, I've been compiling everything we got so far, and honestly, it's not promising. Based solely on what we have found, at least. All we've been able to learn is that our target basically just vanished. No idea where they went after we investigated the school. All traces of them just vanished, which does not bode well for us. Because likely what it means is whatever they were after, they have a high chance to have actually gotten. And we simply don't know. Remember when we figured out that someone there potentially had a magical artifact? Well, I suspect that artifact is what our target was looking for. And if they did end up getting it, they might have gone into hiding after you revealed us. No, they probably didn't get very far. 'Cause you would have been able to find their unique scent heading away from other people. Basically, we've got them trapped in the city. Or, at least, if they leave, we'll figure out very quickly. Especially since you've been going out and checking for scent trails. It's unlikely they would have left. Which just begs the question, what exactly are they planning to do? Which, of course, since we don't know what the artifact they're looking for is, we don't know what they're planning to do. However, that does lead me into the second part of this. The Lachland kid. Well, as you hopefully remember me saying, I have been meeting up with the Lachland kid ever since we nabbed them from the school that night. What we know is they were attacked, with the prime suspect being our target, whose scent was freshly there. We don't know why exactly, but it could potentially be because of whatever magic the kid has. Speaking of which, they've been coming over and practicing it with me. Well, so far, a lot of how their magic works is unknown to me. But it seems to be a unique way to warp reality, in a way. They're able to use people's perception of the world, and using those perceptions, they're able to make things real. Like, for instance, if you thought you heard a noise, they could use their magic to make that noise happen again and again, exactly how you heard it. In turn, if you can't perceive something, they can alter that. Like, for instance, they were able to escape my handcuffs despite the cuffs having no trace of them being tampered with. Like, the cuffs weren't even on them in the first place. Since I could not confirm they still had the cuffs on, they were able to make the reality, where they didn't have cuffs on in the first place, true. Yes, extraordinarily so. That kind of power is, well, completely unheard of. Honestly, that power doesn't seem like it should even exist in our world. And even less in a human with no connection to the supernatural. Or at least, not directly so. No, there is a limit. One thing is they have to be physical in nature. For example, if you thought I was a really good liar, I couldn't use that power to influence you to believe me more, or make myself a better liar. They also can't make things real. Like how I said they could replay a noise you heard exactly how you heard it. Let's say you thought it was a cat. Their magic couldn't create a cat. Or at least not a real cat. Maybe a toy? Should try that out at some point. Regardless, I've been showing them how to better use their abilities. While it's outside of my expertise, it's better than nothing. However, they're not the key. Well, not yet. No, I don't have a plan for them. But that power could come in handy once we discover everything it can do. But no, it's not them I'm focused on. It's the kid with the artifact I'm looking into. When I interrogated the Lachland kid, they spoke about meeting a guy. I think this guy is the one who had the artifact to begin with. Why am I focused on him? Well, that's very simple. If I can find him, I might be able to figure out what artifact he had, and what it might be capable of. That's really important. Because if I can figure out what the artifact does, I could then potentially figure out what the big master plan is and therefore be able to figure out how to stop said plan. There we go. Your brain cut up now? Right. The only problem is this guy seems to be very good at hiding his trail. Makes me think he was in on whatever our target was planning. Maybe even gave them the artifact for whatever plan they have. And this is all assuming they have what they need. It could also potentially be that they failed to get what they needed and this kid with the artifact was able to fend them off, which is probably off the table, but still something to think about. Well, that is one problem. Neither of us can actually go to the school to meet him there. Well, one, the sun is out. Thanks to the veil, I can walk in the sunlight, but it's irritating on my skin, and would make me stand out too much. And you may be good at staying hidden, but you got the social grace of a cow pretending to be a pig. So we're just gonna have to find him the old-fashioned way, which will no doubt be very tiring. Help. You're already helping. Your patrols keep us up to date if Cardin left or not. It also keeps us up to date on where they aren't, which being able to confirm places we don't need to investigate is something I have learned to be very thankful for. Trust me, nothing is worse than searching a place only to learn there was nothing of interest. Just keep up the pressure, and hopefully, our target either breaks, or I can find what we need to crack them open ourselves. And with that, that's what we got so far. And now I am very tired. It's early, and that means it's time for me to hit the hay. Try not to break anything while I'm asleep, okay? Oh, and if the kid shows up, play nice. Yeah, whatever, mutt. Nothing, Wolfie.